Welcome into One-on-One on Sunlink Channel 112, live studio 318. I'm Reed Sensor, joined by my co-host Logan Moser. As always, a fun weekend and a fun show ahead. Some big comebacks in the NBA. We're going to make our own All-Star drafts. I will not be LeBron, but LeBron and Giannis are out there. We will be the captains, and we will draft our own team. A lot of news out of Oklahoma State athletics this weekend, but we will start in the NBA. The Thunder released Alex Abrines for personal issues. So what does this mean going forward? One, for Alex Abrines, and two, for the Thunder.
Well, for Alex Abrines, you hope he can just get whatever's going on under control. He can get whatever's going on right in his life. And because he was one of the bright spots of the Thunder a couple of years ago after Kevin Durant left. He was one of these guys that came over from Europe. They had drafted him a couple of years prior. He finally comes over, and he's like the shooting that they've always wanted. And he gave them quality minutes for a long time. And I think he'd only played in 2 games since late December, around Christmas time. So people have kind of been wondering, where is he, what's going on? And then you hear he's released for personal reasons. You hope he just gets everything under control and gets his life in order, because that's what's most important. At this point, it sounds like this is bigger than basketball. It's more important than what he can do on the court. So hopefully everything turns out right for him.
Well, I think the important thing with this news is realizing how the Thunder handled it, which was one with professionalism, and I think he handled it. Listen, there was never anything negative said about it. Now, Thunder fans on Twitter, the clueless people, the fanboys who think that, you should make X amount of dollars, you should give everything else up. Obviously, something is not right in his life, and for the Thunder to mutually and for Alex Abrines to mutually agree, hey, this isn't working out, I need to take some time. But with it ending the way it did, hopefully he fixes whatever's wrong, whether it be personal issues or, you don't want to speculate anything else out of what side they said. But, there has been, some depression talks. But whatever he's going through, you would hope that he would get through it. And when he is okay to come back, if he does want to come back, since it ended mutually, hopefully he would come back to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Right, and you mentioned, we don't really know what's going on, and I think that speaks to the level of organization that the Oklahoma City Thunder is. They keep it so tight-lipped, nothing gets leaked out, everything is in-house. The only people that know about it are probably Alex and a couple of people in the organization that need to know about it. So, like you said, hopefully if he can make a return to basketball, it will be for the Oklahoma City Thunder, because I know a lot of people loved Alex Abrines as a fan. They thought he was one of their favorite players, and he's exciting to watch. Like I said, the shooting, he can go off for 9 points in 20 seconds. He can just go down and hit 3 threes. He's fun to watch. Hopefully he can get everything in order and make a return someday.
Yeah, I can't, because there's a lot of organizations in professional sports, and especially in the NBA, that this situation would have completely derailed itself. Quite honestly, and I get it's a bigger market, it's a different organization, but the Lakers, whatever was wrong with them would have gotten out. And yes, I get it helps that they're in Oklahoma City and they own the media. I get it. And it helps. But it speaks to the volumes that Sam Presti and, the Thunder operate on. But the Thunder, along with the Clippers, had 2 big comebacks this weekend. Clippers from 28, the Thunder from 26. Which comeback was more impressive to you?
They're probably the Clippers, just because of the way their roster's constructed. They're not as good a team as the Thunder, and it was against the Celtics. And the Celtics have had a up and down season, but they're still the Boston Celtics. They're still a great basketball team. I believe they're 35-21 or something right now, so they're no bottom team by any means. So I think the Clippers is more impressive. I think it's the largest comeback in Clippers history.
Right, yeah.
And the Thunder comeback might have been the largest in Thunder history too. Both of them were really impressive, but I would probably say the Clippers is a bit more impressive, just because Paul George and Russell Westbrook and Steven Adams don't play for the Clippers.
I think you're right for several reasons. One, they did it against Brad Stevens.
Right.
One of the better minds of an NBA coach. And like you said, the Clippers roster kind of has been thrown together, especially since the trade deadline. It's like duct tape. But they come back, they make big shots. I mean, Patrick Beverley hit 2 big threes.
Yeah.
Now Kyrie Irving's got a sprained knee, which is the least surprising news, I think, of the NBA season. I'm legitimately worried about the Boston Celtics moving forward, because everyone in the East has gotten better, and everyone in the East has fixed their problems,
right?
And I think got better at the trade deadline. Boston has done neither.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. We'll have to see in the summer. I feel like they've not given up, but I think they're good with the roster they have going forward. And I think they think any move they could have made would have been a lateral move unless it was for Anthony Davis, and that just wasn't going to happen this season. So I feel like that's why we didn't see Boston. Boston cleared up some luxury tax space. They traded away Jabari Bird, I think, to the Hawks to get some cap space. But like you said, everyone else in the East, the top teams at least, got a lot better at the trade deadline. Boston did not. And they've had a couple of struggles this season, but we'll have to see what they can do for the rest of the season. I'm ready to watch Jason Tatum in the second half of the season and Jaylen Brown, those young guys. I want to see if they can kind of pick it up after the All-Star break. They can get a week off, get their mind right, and Kyrie can get healthy, and maybe they can kind of be the team we thought they were going to be at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's shocking, and I think people should worry that we're now almost to the All-Star break and it hasn't been fixed.
Yeah.
And Boston seems like an organization that would have, especially with that roster, and Brad Stevens would have it fixed by now. So there is definitely some worry going forward. But the Clippers' comeback was amazing. They're 31-26. I think they may squeak into the playoffs, but I don't think they're a serious threat to do anything. Maybe a serious threat to land Jimmy Butler or Anthony Davis or Kawhi Leonard, depending on what happens in the offseason. But not a legitimate threat to make a title run. But you have to be a little bit in awe of what they've been able to do in the West, considering what people thought they were going to be. I think you're going to have to make a move from Doc Rivers to do anything big in the future, but an interesting spot for them to be in. The Thunder, on the other hand, completed a similar comeback, 26 points. I believe it was 70-40 something in halftime.
Yeah, it was not good.
James Harden dropped 42, but Paul George dropped 45. Russ gets his 9th straight triple-double, tying an NBA record. He's now ahead of Jordan. This was a win where you kind of watched it, and it seemed like the Thunder, quite the exact opposite of Boston, have found their groove at one of the better times of the season. Obviously, you want to hit that groove going into the playoffs, but a win over a really good Houston team for James Harden, by the way, scores 30 again for the 29th straight game.
Right.
They did what they wanted. They came back. They played good defense. It was not a good game at the start, and they came back in a very impressive win for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Exactly. And, I mean, the Rockets, you see that guy right there for the Rockets, Iman Shumpert. I thought that was a really good pickup for them at the trade deadline. But if you're Golden State or Houston or Denver or one of the top teams in the West, I think you have to be scared of this Oklahoma City team. Obviously, we'll have to see whenever it comes to the playoff time because that's totally different. And last year we thought they would be able to make a splash. That didn't work out.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell had something to say about that.
Yeah. I think it's different than last year, though, because I think Russell Westbrook has taken a step back for Paul George, something we never really saw him do for Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook has totally transformed who he is as a player this season. He is not shooting it very well, obviously, but he's finding different ways to affect the game. I think he's become a much better pure point guard than people like to give him credit for. He's leading the league in assists, like you mentioned, 9 straight triple-doubles, an NBA record. He has kind of given up that lead role and closer role to Paul George, and he'll still take some shots at the end of games, and some of them will make you scratch your head. There was one in that Houston game, actually, where you're like, why are you doing that, Russ? But that's just Russ. Paul George, is he like in the MVP conversation? I feel like he's first or second in the MVP.
I think he's leading the MVP conversation. He might be Defensive Player of the Year.
I think there's a chance he could realistically win both of those awards.
Sam Presti looks like a genius, by the way.
That trade, at the time, people were like, why are you renting Paul George for a year? He's going to leave. That has turned into the exact opposite of the Harden trade. That has turned into probably one of the best trades for both teams, honestly, of the past 5 or 10 years. And, yeah, Paul George has – I can't believe I'm about to say this, Reed. I think he's taken Kawhi Leonard's spot as the best two-way player in the NBA.
Does maybe playing in Canada have something to do with the way you feel about Kawhi Leonard?
Maybe, and the fact that he doesn't play back-to-backs. He's missed a lot of games.
I don't think it's entirely, especially this year, for Paul George to be having the year he's having. You mentioned, Russell Westbrook's taken that role, which has hurt them in the playoffs. He kind of takes over. But do you worry? It's almost like a tiger in captivity. If you throw somebody in there, they're probably going to kill because that is their instinct.
Right.
Russell Westbrook's instinct is to take control, take over, try and own the moment, try and be the hero. So do you worry that although he's done it this in the regular season, that when they get in the playoffs, his instinct kicks in?
Oh, absolutely. And teams will game plan for that.
Yeah, they will.
They will give him opportunity after opportunity to try and take over the game. They'll try and take Paul George out of the end of games as much as they can and just try and let Russell take over. And he's capable of doing that. I don't like watching him take some of those threes he takes at the end of games. They're exciting when they go in, but they're horrible when they don't, and some of them don't even get close to going in. So, yeah, you do have to worry about that come playoff time. But I think, man, if they can get someone off the buyout market, maybe not Enes Kanter, Carmelo, they've already given up on those two. But if they can get maybe, I don't know, maybe if they can get someone off the buyout market, they might be able to make a big push. I think it'll be interesting to see going into the postseason.
Yeah, they are down to 12 roster spots, so they do have to add, I believe, in the next 10 days. Like you mentioned, they're kind of waiting out for that buyout market to round out their roster. But they are playing really well. Billy Donovan, Sam Presti looks a lot better now than they did a year ago right now. So you mentioned former Thunder Enes Kanter. He's let go in New York. No one's surprised.
No, I think anyone that watches or follows the Knicks or follows basketball, because, I mean, you don't even have to like the Knicks to know about Enes Kanter. He makes a lot of noise on social media and stuff like that. He was very unhappy in New York. He got let go. I think it'll be interesting to see where he goes. A team to watch, I feel like they're always in the mix when it comes to the buyout market. It's Portland. Because, I mean, not that long ago, Portland signed an offer sheet for Enes Kanter when he was a restricted free agent. So I feel like there might be some interest there. They need someone off the bench. I think they'll just have to figure out if they want to be able to exist with what Enes brings off the court and his total lack of defense. I think I play better defense than Enes Kanter.
Yeah, he seems to think that he's an all-star player, and he's simply not.
Yeah.
And when I say this is not a joke. But if he's got to find a spot, because I don't know where he's not an American citizen, and he cannot go back home to Turkey. That's a well-documented story. So you wonder what his off-the-court situation will do if the NBA doesn't work out. You would think he would find a landing spot.
I think he will. I think he's too talented. And maybe it's not with a playoff team or like a really good team, but the Suns or someone like that will bring. Chicago might bring him in. So someone will give him a job.
Yeah, you mentioned the Twitter stuff. He just comes with a lot of baggage to be the type of player that he is. But the Knicks also, in that trade with Dallas got Wesley Matthews. He is now going to be a starter for the Pacers. They let him go. I think that was a good thing to do, but he is getting that starting spot. What did you do last week? Anything important? Because Nick Stauskas was traded 3 times.
I did not. I did not travel as much as Nick Stauskas did, and he just got picked up today. He finally found a new home. Yeah, hopefully he'll stay there.
He's going to be playing for the G League Cavs.
Yeah.
And, he gets traded 3 times.
That's
Cavs,
right.
Portland Trailblazers, Rockets, Pacers, then back with the Cavs. So he had quite an interesting week.
He
probably
did.
Got jet lag, but he has landed with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we're going to take a quick break, come back, and play Giannis and LeBron and draft our NBA All-Star Draft. We'll be right back after this.
One-on-One is brought to you by Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit Facebook.com/TinkerFCU. While you're there for your family, we're there for you. Tinker Federal Credit Union. And OSU Communications. Not sure where to park? OSU Communications has got you covered with parking tips and bus schedule information. We'll be right back.
Determining your future by selecting a major. Your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
Cash prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
Welcome back into One-on-One on Southern Lake Channel 112, live Studio 318. It is time for the One-on-One All-Star
There we go.
Draft. Something that obviously Giannis and LeBron did last week. We are doing it today. I am
And we did it
such
last
a nice
year.
guy. Last year, you did win. So what we'll do is we'll compare the points scored by all of our players drafted, compare at the end. I'm sure you will win again. You won last year. But since you won last year and I'm a nice guy,
You are.
I will let you pick first overall, and I will be writing our teams down. Don't you worry.
Okay.
We'll have this well documented. I guess we could just look back at it because we are on camera, but I will be writing it down. So Team Logan will go first, unless you want to name it some crazy
I'm good with
name.
Team Logan. I might come up with a different team later, but Team Logan's good for now.
Okay, we'll go with that. Who was your first pick overall?
And we were going based on captains, right? That was our...
Yeah, who's your captain?
I'm going to take LeBron James as my captain.
Big Lakers fan you
I
are,
am.
right?
Yes.
LeBron James.
He's also my GM, so I'll have to call him and see if he wants to make any trades after this or tamper with anybody. Yeah.
Player, coach, GM. So you're taking LeBron, not shocking.
Yeah.
So Giannis in real life is the other.
Right.
Phenomenal. I'm taking Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Because as my captain, because I think that Anthony Davis is going to be a little ticked off. He's not playing any more than 25 minutes.
I cannot wait until LeBron James tampers with Anthony Davis, and he's going to be like, come over here. Come over to Team Logan.
It would not surprise me. I guess theoretically, we can make some trades at the end of this. We'll get there. But
all right.
It is now your pick, my captain, Anthony Davis.
All right. I'm going to take, with my second pick, Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
Slim Reaper.
Just like you're doing this like it was real life. I mean,
LeBron. I'm just going off availability. I'm just like LeBron. Taking all the free agents, too.
I'm taking Giannis.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to have two giants
beneath
the basket.
You are.
And scoring points in the All-Star game is relatively easy by most standards.
Right.
So I think if I get those two guys, it's going to be I'm setting myself up for victory here. I'm trying for victory here.
All right, my third pick. I'm going the complete opposite of you. I'm not even going to try and score in the paint. I'm going to shoot as many threes as possible. Give me Steph Curry. Give me Stephen Curry.
Steph Curry.
Hometown kid. He's going to be in Charlotte. He's going to put on a big show. He might win MVP.
That is very fair. He is going to be at home. It will be fun. Obviously, if we're going for shooting, I'm not going to take Ben Simmons. I'm going to match.
He's starting to shoot.
You're shooting because there's two guys out there, but I'm going to take James Harden.
Okay.
With the next pick.
I like that. Dang. I would have liked to have had at least. That's an easy 40 locked up.
That is an easy 40.
I'll take Paul George. I'll take the guy that outscored him in Houston the other night.
You're taking the defensive guy in a no-defense game. But
he brings offense.
He can score too.
28 points per game.
He does bring offense. Like you mentioned, probably the MVP of the league. All right, so you took Paul George. I'm going to take Klay Thompson.
Now, You ruined my plan of getting all the Warriors.
Yeah, I was going Steph before you took him, so I had that plan as well. I think that's most people's plan.
Yeah, that's not a bad plan. It seems to work in real life. So, let's see. I've got LeBron, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Steph. I need a big man. Give me Nikola Jokic. I'm gonna take the foreigner.
You didn't take Joel Embiid?
I don't like all the off the court stuff. I can't take Joel Embiid. Plus, I don't know if he's gonna be healthy.
Can't knock that logic. So you're taking Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
All right. Now it's getting interesting here. Whew. I want to go big man, but then again, I don't. I want to take another shooter. All right. I'll go Joel Embiid.
Okay.
The off-the-court stuff doesn't bother me. I'll take it.
That's fair.
We're going to have the much better meme team than you could ever think of.
Oh,
I've got Giannis and Joel Embiid.
Let me tell you, it's going to be hard to score on you in the paint. I'm going to go with Kyrie. I'm just getting guys that are not even going to try to go inside. I'm just going to shoot so many jump shots.
You know, you've changed a lot over the last year because there's a guy out there, well, I will not mention his name, but you might have taken him first overall.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly who you're thinking of. Are you about to take him?
No.
Okay, good.
No, I'll take him. One of us will have to take him later on. So I'll take Russell Westbrook. Shock of the century because I am not a big Russell Westbrook guy. But I will take Russell Westbrook. He seems to play well in these All-Star games. So give me Russ.
Yeah, 2 MVPs, so I cannot fault you there.
He's going to have a triple-double.
Probably. He might have a quadruple-double.
If he doesn't score a triple-double, does this break his streak?
Nah.
In my book, it does.
I'm going to take the guy I think you were just talking about earlier. I'm trying to take all the big men away from you that can shoot. I'm taking Karl Anthony Towns.
You're taking Cat.
Give me Big Cat.
You would make Chris happy. Jimmy Butler probably wants to fight him.
I'll take Jimmy Butler next. Oh, wait. He's not an all-star.
He's not an
all-star. Not an all-star.
This is an unconventional pick, I think.
Okay.
I am going D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
Not the biggest.
I thought you were about to say Victor Oladipo. I was about to say that's a bold choice read. Don't think he's going to score a lot.
You never know.
Man, this is a... I'll take Kawhi. How is he on the board? Give me Kawhi Leonard.
That's what I was saying. You probably would have taken him first overall last year.
I am worried about taking him, though, because his style of play is not great for all-star games. I think the last time he was in an all-star game, he played 2 minutes. He started and played 2 minutes and quit because he didn't like how no one was playing defense. So that might come back to bite me in the butt.
So we have still on the board Kyle Lowry. No,
okay.
I kept trying to say Kyrie. It obviously wasn't Kyrie. He's already on your team. Kyle Lowry, Damian Lillard, Ben Simmons, LaMarcus Aldridge, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker, and Chris Middleton, and Blake Griffin. Still on the board. I'm going to take Kemba Walker.
Dang it. That's my next pick.
Give me Kemba.
Okay. Man, give me I'm gonna shout out to Barrett. I'm gonna take Bradley Beal.
That's like the only Wizard shout out possible.
Yeah, it's definitely the only positive one.
So Kemba Walker now and Bradley Beal are off the board. So we have Chris Middleton, Blake Griffin, Dame, Ben Simmons, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Kyle Lowry. Give me Damian Lillard. I'll take Dame.
It's getting rough.
Yeah,
Slim pickings now.
Now we're down to not great. But I will take Dame off the board.
Okay, so I've got Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, and Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry, Ben Simmons, LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Middleton,
oh, wow.
Blake Griffin, and Nikola Vucevic, right?
Yeah.
That's how you say his name. Please take this guy, Vucevic. Please take him.
I'm gonna make you take him last because I just want to hear you say his name. Blake Griffin. I'll take Blake Griffin.
Taking Blake Griffin, the Detroit Piston now.
Yeah.
You're taking Blake.
Clipper for life. Former Clipper for life, Blake Griffin.
Ouch, that hurts. Who do you think that hurts more, Blake Griffin or Steve Ballmer?
Oh, definitely Blake Griffin.
Steve Ballmer's such a snake for
he
that.
He is.
I'll go Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
So now you have Left on the board, Ben Simmons, LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Middleton, and Nikola Vucevic.
Give me Ben Simmons. I want to see this guy make a 3 for my team.
Hey, he took one yesterday.
I feel like his threes have to be worth double.
He shocked the world. The highlight of the century.
He startled his own teammates.
Yeah, he did. I will take LaMarcus Aldridge now. I do have to say, it looks like you probably have a much better roster than I do.
Well, thank you, Reed. We don't know, though. I thought you had a better roster than me last year. So I can either get LaMarcus or Nikola Vucevic?
I just took LaMarcus, right?
Did you?
Because you took Ben Simmons and then I took
LaMarcus
okay,
so I'll take Chris Middleton then.
You're the worst.
I'm sorry, Reed.
I'm just calling him Nikola. I will refuse to say his last name. But Chris Middleton for you. So we will go down the list here. I get Nikola. So I have, my starting 5 would be Anthony Davis, Giannis, both on the floor at the same time, James Harden, Klay Thompson, and Joel Embiid. I may rotate my starters along with the reserves: Russell Westbrook, D'Angelo Russell, Kemba Walker, Damian Lillard, Kyle Lowry, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Nikola Vucevic. Your starting 5 would be LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Paul George, and Nikola Jokic. Kyrie Irving on your bench, Karl Anthony Towns, Kawhi Leonard, Bradley Beal, Blake Griffin, Ben Simmons, and Chris Middleton.
I'm okay with that. I'll take that.
Any trades that you want to make?
I'm happy with my roster. Do you have anything you want to offer me?
I will give you Kemba Walker for Bradley Beal.
I'll do that. I'll take that.
All right, so Bradley Beal is now on my team. That's a bad trade, but I just wanted to make a trade.
It's in Charlotte, so.
That's simply all I want to do. If I end up losing on that, I'm going to be so mad. I just wanted to make a trade.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you would take it because you seemed excited about Bradley Beal, but that backfired on me really quickly.
I feel like Kemba's going to get a lot of time. It's in Charlotte. They usually like to let the guy that's in his city do whatever he wants.
So you have 2 hometown kids, basically, Steph Curry and
Kemba.
I'm just really banking on Giannis and Anthony Davis just living above the rim, which they do already.
Right.
But just scoring a lot of points. James Harden, hopefully he drops like 70.
He definitely could.
I really need him to drop 70 points.
He's averaging 36.5 points per game. I don't think 70 is too far out of reach in an all-star game.
No, I think you're right. It's not completely out of the question. By the way, your prediction for James Harden was he was going to drop 70 points.
That definitely did not happen. He didn't even get halfway there. I said he was going to drop 89 against the Suns.
Oh, yeah, 89.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
You think?
That did not happen. That was a bad. Put me on you ever seen that Twitter account, Freezing Cold Takes?
Yeah, that one was ice cold.
Yeah.
It was a 118-110 win for the 31-22 Houston Rockets. 44.
I blame Chris Paul.
He was almost halfway there.
I blame Chris Paul.
I feel like a lot of people blame Chris Paul for a lot of things, but he did drop 44, which is amazing, but it's not quite 89.
Right. Oh, Reed, did we want to pick our coaches?
Oh yeah, we can. Let's pick our coaches.
I'll let you pick, coach.
Well,
you can go first.
My coach is on your roster, LeBron James. Yikes. I'm going to pretend like this is a real basketball game, and how he works with stars. I'll take Greg Popovich, which is kind of a shocker, I know, because I'm not a big Russell Westbrook or Greg Popovich guy, but he is my coach, and Russell Westbrook is on my team.
I cannot fault you. The greatest coach of all time, Greg Popovich. I'm trying to think of what style I want to play. I'm going to take Mike D'Antoni. That guy coaches like every game's an all-star game.
Yeah, he is. He's perfect for what
Steph Curry's going to shoot the ball 80 times and have like 160 points.
I really hope not, because I can't fault the 0-2. I just really can't. Well, we're going to take a quick break. That was fun, and we will obviously talk about who won that game and revisit this when the All-Star Weekend does happen, and we can go over who our favorites are to win the skills competition, dunk contest, etc. later on in the week. We're going to take a quick break, come back and talk about the difficult weekend for Oklahoma State athletics. They had some wins, had some losses, but we will start with Oklahoma State basketball right after this.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting, business administration, theology, engineering, computer science, or cybersecurity from Oklahoma Christian University. Apply at oc.edu/grad. Oklahoma University is committed to offering the best graduate school experience we possibly can. Come learn and grow with us. And The Table. Stop by The Table on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to join their Bible study. Shoot Rachel an email at rachel@thetableosu.com for more information. We'll be right back.
In my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Welcome back into One-on-One on Southern Channel 112, live studio at 318. The Oklahoma State Cowboys took a trip to Lawrence this weekend, and it did not go well. Now 9th in the Big 12. They fall to 2-8 in the conference, 9-14 overall. An 84-72 loss. Not a surprising.
Yeah. Still sad. Still.
I mean, I think everyone probably saw this coming from a mile away, but it was tied 36-36 at the end of the first half. Then the inevitable happens, which it always happens. The legs just aren't there and couldn't sustain a big second half run from the Jayhawks.
Yeah, but I will give the Cowboys credit here. They at least kept up with what they did in the first half. They scored 36 in the second half as well. It's just tough to stop Kansas in Lawrence, especially when you're undermanned like the Cowboys are. Going through the game, I was relatively impressed with what they were able to do. I thought we were heading for a much worse loss than 84-72.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they would be competitive in the first half, but like I said, I don't think anyone was shocked that they weren't able to hold off that second half run. Cam Griff drops 22 points. They got several minutes out of Duncan Demuth off the bench. And always, Curtis Jones played, a decent role off the bench as well. But they just, it's not, I don't know. I mean, they go down to Fort Worth. They lose at the buzzer. And then they play a competitive first half in Kansas.
Yeah.
They're not a bad basketball team.
No, they're just undermanned.
They're very well coached. It just isn't in the cards to work out this year, which is nobody's fault that's still in this program.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what are you supposed to do when you're playing Kansas? I mean, what are you supposed to do? And you're hosting a top 25 team in Texas Tech this week.
Right.
I think they've got plenty of motivation. I think they're tired of losing. But it's just going to keep getting worse because they're going to keep getting more and more tired.
Right. And I think my big challenge for, if anyone, is for Curtis Jones to not be a better scorer, but be a more efficient scorer. 1 for 5 tonight. I can't remember off the top of my head what he was in the last game, but he's given them good minutes. He just doesn't seem to be able to find an easy shot. 3 rebounds, 2 points. That's not going to cut it. You can be a body out there for 22 minutes, but if the defense doesn't have to pay attention to you at all, it's almost like you're not there. So, I mean, I'm happy he can be out there for defense at least, and Duncan Demuth, maybe a career high 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
You got to find a way to stay on the court and have an impact.
I mean, and apparently Lindy Waters is playing a little banged up with left knee tendonitis.
I mean, he has to, I guess, because without him, you're relying on Desagua and McGriff, and that's too much to ask for those 2 guys. But if I'm Lindy, I would have to monitor that, and I assume that they're going to monitor that. They're not going to let him go and play if he has a huge risk of tearing something in his knee or something like that. But this is not the kind of thing you want to hear about as a guy, one of your key 3 guys. I don't even know if you can say key 3. We might as well have key 5 guys. The starting 5 is basically all this team has. But if you lose one of those guys, it's more than over.
Right. I mean, yeah, you worry about getting into foul trouble.
Right.
I mean, everything that could go wrong.
I mean, Cam McGriff fouled out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and in TCU, I mean, you just how do you manage it? I mean, there's not much to manage if you're Mike Boynton. I mean,
yeah,
he's doing a phenomenal job. But there was a quote after this game that I think that every Oklahoma State fan, if they're worried about the future of Cowboy basketball, this quote should probably put your worries to rest, because they do have that roster, issue, and they are bringing in a very strong freshman class.
Right.
But this was a quote from head coach Mike Boynton. Whatever the thing is that whatever the thing is that people have that makes them quit, I don't possess it. So what we'll do is we'll keep working, we'll keep fighting, and keep trying to compete. Eventually, we'll have a breakthrough, and our guys won't look back. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree, and I think everyone on the roster believes that too. Mike Boynton has done, like you said, a phenomenal job of coaching this basketball team, especially for the position they're in. Managing minutes, managing timeouts, foul trouble, all that stuff, he probably has one of the toughest jobs in college basketball right now. And I hate to say this, but you kind of have to treat every victory he has as an upset at this point in the season. Right. And he's done a phenomenal job to stay in the Kansas game as long as he did, going into halftime, a little bit into the second half. Then Kansas went on a pretty big run. Cowboys couldn't come back from that. Going to the buzzer, basically, against TCU, you got to applaud him for that. And they always play really well at home, I think, just because of the crowd. Obviously, that helps them out. But Mike Boynton, like you said, the future is bright. Fans have nothing to worry about. They weren't going to go win a national championship this year anyway. They weren't going to win the Big 12. Just be patient. Good things are coming.
Yeah, I think they're in good hands once they get this roster filled out in next year and the coming years. So it's also not a great weekend for the Cowgirls. They go down to now an 11-12 Texas team, who's 2-10 now in the Big 12 Conference, and they fall, Logan, 90-78. Vivian Gray, 22 points, Jaden Hobbs, 17. They fall to 13-9, now 7th in the Big 12. We said on Friday, this is a team that can't afford to lose outside of probably a Baylor and Texas. They were going to have to win out outside of those to make a run at the tournament. Did this loss down in Lubbock, metaphorically put an end to the Cowgirls' hopes at a turning run?
I feel like outside of an upset against Baylor, yes. There's a lot of bad losses on the schedule now. And I don't know what's going on with Braxton Miller, but she just has not been able to get it going these past couple of games. Like you said, they've gotten great performances out of Vivian Gray and what's Jones's first name?
Jaden Hobbs.
Jaden Hobbs, sorry. They've been getting great games out of those girls. But Braxton Miller, who we all thought was going to be the star of this team after what she was able to do last season, she just hasn't been able to do it these past couple of games. So I feel like shy of an upset against Baylor. And maybe you have to include Texas in that too. And they have to win out. They cannot lose any more bad games, and they have to have an upset. Otherwise, I think come Selection Sunday, they're not going to hear their name.
Yeah, sitting here now at 7th in the Big 12, only ahead of Kansas, Texas Tech, and the Sooners. I mean, your next 2 games are against Texas and at Iowa State, 2 top 25 matchups.
Those are rough.
West Virginia and Kansas, games that you could win, but, I mean, it's kind of up in the air right now with Cowgirls. And then you know you can beat the Sooners, and then you have a tough Baylor team, and you have a Kansas State team that you lost to earlier in the season to finish out the regular season.
Right.
So it's going to be a tough stretch for the Cowgirls. It's certainly possible, but sitting here at 13-9, they are going to have to pull off something special here.
For sure.
So not a great game down in Lubbock for the Cowgirls. As we mentioned, they fall to Texas Tech 90-78. Cowgirl softball, on the other hand, was the exact opposite.
It's a good story. It's a good pick-me-up after what we just talked about.
4-1 this weekend at the Houston Invitational. 7-4 loss against Illinois to start out the weekend. So it didn't start out great, but they followed it up with 4 straight wins, a 5-1 win over Houston, a 3-0 win over Sam Houston State, redeemed their loss against Illinois with a 10-6 victory, and walked off against number 13, Kentucky, and won 8-7, which was impressive because they were down 5-0 in the 3rd inning.
Right.
And I would say that they started to mount the comeback, but really they had 4 runs in the 7th inning, down 5-1, get 4 runs in the 7th, and then finish it off with a 2-run walk-off. There's a lot of excitement around Kenny Gajewski and the Cowgirls going into the season. Obviously, we know, even in this state, OU is an incredible softball program, but they finished strong last year. Lose Vanessa Shippey, but this is probably only a start you can really dream about if you're Coach Gajewski.
Right, and you mentioned they lost Vanessa Shippey last year. I thought after that it was like, okay, maybe it's time for a rebuild, and maybe it still is. We're very early in the season, but a 4-1 start and just the victories that you mentioned. Obviously, you lose that first one to Illinois, but you win that second meetup with them, and then you beat number 13 Kentucky. That's awesome. It's going to be interesting to see them going into their next tournament. I believe it's the 14th.
It's the Clearwater Elite Invitational.
Yeah, down in Florida. So that'll be interesting to see. They don't have any ranked teams on their schedule for that tournament. And then the regular season, I believe, starts in March, beginning of March, first game here in Stillwater. Yeah, March 1st, first game here in Stillwater against Seattle. And then it's a doubleheader. They play Syracuse, where Vanessa Shippey is now coaching. So that'll be a nice homecoming for her. But I'm very optimistic about this Cowgirls softball season after what they did this weekend.
Yeah, how do we get on the softball team? They're going down to Florida, and they were in Houston.
And then California.
Getting away from the cold weather. But, yeah, I mean, this weekend will be an interesting one because you're looking at some Power 5 teams here. LSU, Notre Dame, Utah, and California. But a good start for the Cowgirls nonetheless. And as you mentioned, the regular season starts. And then they have some big series. You know, obviously the Big 12 is a tough softball conference with Texas.
Right.
And teams
OU.
like that, and OU, absolutely. So I think it could be, you know, a special season for the Cowgirls, but at minimum 47 games left in this regular season. So they have quite a bit of softball left to play, but 4-1, a good start for the Cowgirls. Cowboy golf also had a good start. They are Invitational. Also, how do we get on the golf team?
Right.
They're in Hawaii for a weekend. They win the tournament by 10 shots. Your individual champion is Matthew Wolf, sophomore, who helped win the national championship last year. Probably his last season playing at Karsten Creek.
Is it 6 straight individual titles for him now?
Yeah, I mean, he's tied the record for wins by a sophomore, 3 wins in the fall, and winning this one. And I mean, 11 under at 277 final round for the Cowboys, a 47 under, 817 in the weekend as a whole. Matthew Wolf's 18 under.
That's crazy.
They claimed second place individual title as well. So the number 1 Cowboys seem to be mounting this national title defense the right way down in Hawaii.
Absolutely. Like you said, I played golf throughout high school, Reed. I think you did too.
I mostly played to get out of school.
That's what I did. I wish I had practiced a little bit more because I would love to go to some of these tournaments, but I just didn't have the swing.
Yeah, I just couldn't pull it off either. The Cowboys Friday night I wouldn't say pull off, it was expected.
Yeah.
The number 3 Cowboys dominated Air Force 39-0. Sweep, clean sweep. A couple of the matches were close, but the duel as a whole was not close at all.
Yeah.
But we're staying in Oklahoma State Athletics. We're going to take a quick break, come back talk about changes in the Oklahoma State football staff. We'll be right back after this.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Air National Guard. Contact Oklahoma Air National Guard at 800-GO-TO-ANG or visit their website at goang.com/OK for more information about how to get 100% college tuition. And Unitarian Universalist Church. If you're looking for a church home, visit Unitarian Universalist Church of Stillwater, located at 320 South Stallard Street. They offer an alternative spiritual path and welcome all races, religions, and beliefs. They are also LGBTQ friendly. Services every Sunday at 10:30. We'll be right back.
Stillwater Medical Center now offers a convenient way to view your health information online. It's secure, easy, and free. Our hospital and clinic patient portals allow you to view results and reports, medications and allergies, track visit histories, view upcoming appointment information, and see your statements. To enroll, go to stillwatermedical.com and click on the patient portal link near the top right of the page. If you have questions, please feel free to call 405-533-6010.
Welcome back into One-on-One on Sunlink Channel 112, live from Studio 318. There have been some changes in the Oklahoma State football staff. Obviously, earlier in the year, we know Mike Yurcich took a job with the Ohio State Buckeyes and was replaced by Coach Gleason from Princeton as offensive coordinator. A guy who is thought to maybe replace Mike Yurcich as offense coordinator was Josh Henson, the offensive line coach. At his alma mater, in the second season, this week, took a job to be the offensive line coach at Texas A&M. Were you a little bit shocked to hear that news?
I was. I absolutely was. How do I say it? The offensive line was so inconsistent this year. I could see maybe wanting a change. I guess the only reason they really made a change is because he left. But even if he hadn't left, I would think you have to think about maybe moving him to a different position coach, because the O-line was not. It was probably the worst part of the team. Wouldn't you say it was the worst?
Quarterback wasn't great at times, but in the secondary, I mean, 7-6, they struggled across the board in a lot of places.
That's true.
I'll come to the defense of Josh Henson a little bit. I think that it was so bad before he got here that it was almost like
not a lot to work with,
a top secret project that he had to fix, and it got better throughout the season. I think Josh Henson was good at his job, and I think they were going to be better. He was really, really good at recruiting, and so there was that aspect of it. Obviously, anytime, no matter how much money you make, $150,000 raise is hard to turn down.
Yeah.
And, in the article written by Robert Allen on Go Pokes, certainly seemed like he took a couple days, thought about it, but $150,000 is something that is just hard to turn down.
No, absolutely.
He's on his way to College Station, and he coached with Jimbo Fisher in the past at LSU.
True.
So they were familiar. Coach Fisher had tried to hire him several times in the past and hadn't worked, but finally was able to land him.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Like you said, the offensive line was not anything great when he got here and he had to work really hard. And to their credit, they did get a lot better at the end of the year. So I'll be very interested to see what kind of leap they can be taking with this new offensive line coach.
With Coach Dickey.
Yeah. Because you can't start worse than last year, can you?
I
don't want to say that because maybe they can.
I think this was a home run hire for Coach Gundy. Quite honestly, they might have improved.
Yeah.
At the offensive line position, coach position, excuse me. Which is weird about this is it seemed to shock everyone else. The move, because it was really a domino effect. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals, Zach Taylor, their new head coach, hires Texas A&M offensive line coach to be their offensive line coach, which created an opening that wasn't expected. So Jimbo Fisher is left to replace that position, gets Josh Henson. So it was kind of a weird domino effect.
Yeah.
But we all knew Mike Yurcich was kind of leaving, and Gundy waited almost an entire month, if not more, to hire a guy from Princeton. Now, with all due respect to Coach Gleason, I think he was a phenomenal hire, but people didn't, at least in the national media, probably didn't see a Princeton hire coming. Didn't really shock anyone around here.
Yeah.
But he waited a while. It was like 6 hours. Josh Henson announced he's leaving, and Gundy, it's almost like it was premeditated. He had the pistol loaded to hire Charlie Dickey. I think this is a great hire. He mentioned, kind of like Coach Fisher had been trying to hire Coach Henson, Coach Gundy said he'd been trying to hire Coach Dickey for a long time as well.
Yeah.
But he was loyal to Bill Snyder at K-State. K-State's been a consistent – they didn't make a lot of mistakes. An offensive line, we saw with Cowboys this year, can cost you a game, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And so spent 10 years at Kansas State. The last 3 is the offensive line coach and the run game coordinator. For as quick as a hire as this was, I think this was an excellent, excellent hire for Coach Gundy.
I agree. And, you can just look at the evidence of, like you said, K-State the last couple of years, they don't get a lot of holding penalties. They don't kill a lot of drives with their offensive line. That was a big problem for the Cowboys last year. They would seem to be getting it going, and then there'd be a holding penalty. And then maybe they get going a little bit more, and then a holding penalty, or they give up a sack. And it just kills the drive, and it kills the momentum. And obviously, the season was not great for the Cowboys, like you said, going 7-6. A lot of inconsistencies across the board from quarterback to the secondary to the offensive line. So, and I agree with you. It's probably an upgrade. We'll have to see going forward. We'll see what kind of recruiter he is, what kind of kids he can bring in to beef up that offensive line. Because ever since they've lost Crabtree, they just haven't had a leader, I feel like, on the line. So hopefully we'll see improvement next season.
Well, certainly only time will tell. It seems like a long time, but the game in Corvallis will be here before we know it. With a new offensive coordinator and a new offensive line coach, Coach Gundy has to have a phenomenal offseason to get things right. Staying in college football, Justin Fields, as we know, the big transfer, that was the big news, from Georgia to the Ohio State, is cleared to play. I think this is weird to me. Because
do you know why they granted
hardship? I don't know. I don't know how he's getting cleared to play. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. I'm all for mobility, but we don't have free agency in college football.
Yeah.
At least we didn't, and I don't think we should. Again, I'm all about player mobility, but I think there should be a time period where, especially when you're moving from Power 5 program to Power 5 program, that they may very well see each other in December and January next year. So I think it's crazy, but he's going to be starting for the Buckeyes on week 1.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is this the start of college free agency? I think this sets a bad precedent because, like you said, player mobility is fine. If the situation isn't what you want or whatever, you should be able to leave, but you shouldn't be able to just go right away and start at a new school. The hardship deal, whatever they have for this waiver, it kind of feels like you can just say whatever you want, and they'll be like, okay, sure, you can play this season. I think it sets a bad precedent. It's going to be really interesting to see how this affects quarterbacks in the future. I feel like outside of transferring in conference, you're not going to see a lot of penalties from the NCAA for kids wanting to do stuff like this.
Yeah, I think this was a really bad precedent, but we'll see. The NCAA really doesn't act with common sense, you think,
That's
with
true.
the decisions they make. and I didn't agree with this one, but as I said, I really don't agree with most of them. Something else new started this weekend, the Alliance of American Football. And Logan, their Saturday ratings matched the top matchup of the NBA. Yeah. They scored the same Nielsen rating as the primetime NBA game between the Rockets and Thunder. I watched a couple of games. Now, the Birmingham Iron game and the Memphis game was not the best football I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Turns out Christian Hackenberg is still not good at quarterback. But that was the first game I watched. I watched some highlights from the Orlando game. The old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, is back in coaching. It's fun for me because I love football. I would rather watch, quite honestly, a middle school football game than I would an NBA game. Now, if we're talking NBA playoff basketball, absolutely, I want to watch those games.
Yeah.
But there's just not as much on the line. There's always more on the line in football.
Right.
And I don't think I'm going to buy an Alliance of American Football shirt. I'm not going to be a total fanboy. But I enjoyed the football this weekend.
Yeah.
I would say it's comparative to probably a really good Division III football team. There's a few guys on every team that probably could play in the National Football League. But it is football. I think Oliver Luck, Andrew Luck's dad, the commissioner of this league, has done a phenomenal job at getting things together. The crowd was not great. I don't think it ever will be great.
Right.
But it was good football. Did you see anything that you liked from the Alliance this weekend?
I saw some highlights. I didn't see any. I didn't sit down and watch games like you did. I got to admit, I liked the hit. And it was the San Antonio-San Diego game. That was...
Roger Goodell would have had somebody locked up for that hit.
That would have been 20 games.
A paycheck.
Or something.
Like few paychecks.
Yeah.
Donate to charity.
Community service.
And make a public apology for what that hit was.
Yeah. But I like the way they set their thing up. They're not like the new XFL that's going to be going on in the middle of the season. They are right after the Super Bowl. People still want football. I think this one has a better chance than the XFL of actually succeeding. Not being more popular than the NFL, just filling that void.
I agree with you. So we get to start picking Alliance of American Football games on our Friday show. So thank you for watching. Really quickly, happy birthday, Mom. Your birthday's tomorrow. So
happy birthday, Reed's mom.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one tomorrow. So we will be back on Wednesday to talk about everything that's happening in the world of sports. We'll see you then. Thank you for watching One-on-One at Suddenlink Channel 112.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
CAS prepares you to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.